Let's talk about Sam, shall we? Very, very sad news today. The release on his Instagram account, I'll read it for you. I'm sure this will come back in the news story. Is with immense sadness that the whānau of Sam Neill share the news of his passing on Monday, 13th of July, 2026 in Sydney, which is today. I'm quite surprised that we found out about it immediately. In Australia, Sam was surrounded by a family and passed with the dignity that has characterised his whole life. The loss was sudden and unexpected, but blessed by the fact that Sam remained cancer-free. The family would like to express their deepest gratitude to the staff at St Vincent's Private Hospital for their incredible care. More details will be shared later, but for now, on behalf of the family, we ask you that you respect their privacy as they navigate this immeasurable loss. Because there's a few things I'm going to show on the way through, too. But do you want to say anything before we kind of jump on it?
Yeah, look, as a fan of film, Sam Neill has been there for so many films that I rate.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park would probably be a first one that I saw him in. Like Sleeping Dogs being an incredibly important film for
First
the
one I
New
remember.
Zealand film industry as a whole, and also being a very political film as well.
Yeah.
Other favourites of mine, Event Horizon. Now, this is the little factoid that gets thrown around a lot for Event Horizon, but I'm still going to mention it because I fucking love Event Horizon. God, it's a scary movie. The patch that he wears on his uniform, because he was in that film as an Australian, is that he asked for a new patch to be made without the Union Jack on it, and he put the Aboriginal flag where the Union Jack was. And it comes up all the time that it's a better flag. So he fought for that. It's a nice little touch. An outstanding performance in Peaky Blinders. Going back to, because he was born had a parent who was from Northern Ireland. He was playing a Northern Ireland Irish police inspector with that amazing accent. He's just phenomenal. He's been all over the place. And he's always been a massive advocate for the New Zealand film industry, for up-and-coming actors, and just for New Zealand as a whole. And just, from our point of view, an absolutely impeccable series of positions that he has never been afraid to stand up and say, hey, look, I believe in this, or I don't think this is right. Most recently, with the expansion of the potential mining in Central Otago. So yeah, just a giant of New Zealand media, 100%.
I think we'll do some of his Instagram stuff first because I loved his Instagram. I love present tense, his Instagram. It's not his latest Instagram, but this one, Chewy, popped into my feed just a couple of days ago. And just a little message to us all. Here we go.
There must be 30 or 40 fantails on the mark pile at the moment, eating fruit flies.
That's it. Just a little tidbit.
And I am instantly calmed.
Yeah, and obviously in Australia, what he was in the weeks leading up.
What you want?
The write-up is this doesn't end well.
Ow.
Usually I enjoy our little chats.
Ow!
But Trevor can be persistent.
See,
But
I think
yeah.
the thing that shocked me the most about his passing today is because he had his cancer diagnosis, and by all accounts had beaten it.
Yeah, he had. It was cancer.
So I was really hoping that we had quite a few more years with Sam.
78 as well. I mean, look at how amazing it was, 78.
Yeah, he looked bloody good for 78.
And they're crazy. I'm thinking of one in particular.
He's talking about men who are ruining the world in this. That's what actually we should.
They're just into
Actually, it's almost worth hearing this again. This is what you're talking about, the fights he was fighting.
This morning I wanted to have a little chat about how parlous a position the world finds itself in. You know, just a handful of really stupid men who are putting us in danger all the way. It's just incredible, the situation that we have ourselves in. These people are voted in, for goodness sake, and they're crazy. I'm thinking of one in particular. But these guys don't seem to be interested to talk about it. They're just into food. They've got gossip in the neighborhood. Yeah, and who could blame them? And I sort of see their point, really. I don't want to turn on the news these days. I just want to talk about honey and who's got the best coloured feathers. Oh my God, their feathers are so much better than mine.
Well, that's challengeable, Sam. The way that probably the nation sees your feathers, you may be up there with the brightness of those birds. But you know, even the way he speaks, the poetry in his voice. You know, these birds, they just talk about food and they gossip around the neighborhood. What a lovely turn of phrase. Let's have a look. Let's have a listen. I messaged Lucy Lawless today, and I asked if she had time to come on. She didn't. She's away, but she says this. I asked if I could share this as well. She said that was fine. As a Kiwi, I feel Sam graced our lives. He made us feel like we'd made it in the big leagues, but he never neglected his Kiwi roots. He was a modest man and a gent. He told me a funny story about channeling his wife's little dog for his role in Dean Spanley. I think it was a Pekingese or something. Anyway, he would transform into a Pekingese in the back of the car on the way home and sit. I found him hilarious. This is what I told Toby Manhire. Sam Neill was my first on-screen crush after seeing My Brilliant Career. I was lucky enough to work with him on The Sinking of the Rainbow Warrior and found him unfailingly generous and funny in an unusual way, sort of elegantly droll, inclusive and very, very sweet. He was a graceful man, lucky us for having him. My favourite Sam picture, Possession. And I guess I was going to say anyone here, this might not be true, but I'm too young to be around when, it's so weird me saying I'm too young these days because I'm actually so old, but compared to, I wasn't, because I think Sleeping Dogs was in the 70s, but I can remember in the 80s watching it at school, studying it in English. So that was my introduction to Sam Neill, was watching that, but like probably 10, 12. I'm pretty sure.
That was another film that was heavily influenced by the Springbok tours.
Oh, okay.
Because, like, I could be wrong about this, but I even think
I thought it was a 77.
Muldoon tried to get it banned.
77.
1977.
Yeah. Political thriller with action film elements. Brilliant film. In fact, it makes me, and it's this thing that happens. Like, I was working in radio when Michael Jackson died, and of course, you know, through that week, every third song on the radio was Michael Jackson. It just tends to be what happens. So I suspect the Sam Neill repertoire will be coming out over the next few weeks, and I certainly might check out Sleeping Dogs.
There's another one of his projects that, if you're a film nerd, is well worth looking at. He did a little documentary. It was part of a series of little documentaries about 100 years in film. And so he did a segment. It's all researched and narrated by him and his personal experience with New Zealand film specifically. And it's called The Cinema of Unease. And I think it quite rightly identifies a feeling that a lot of New Zealand films has. It covers the 70s through until about the mid-90s. And there's lots of... actually, a lot more than that, going back to
1940, 1941, 1927. 1927 to 1994. That's a pretty big. Gosh, Once Were Warriors.
It's a big spread, but it's basically a snapshot and a discussion about New Zealand film and the sort of the feeling that New Zealand film has and brings through that's quite different from a lot of places.
Yeah.
It's hard. I think it's up on the New Zealand Film Commission website that you can view for free. But yeah, well, it's been years since I've seen it, but I remember being really, really impressed.
Yeah. All right. Now let's just have a look. I do feel a bit, the Prime Minister had his thoughts and said something like, Sam Neill, before there was a film industry, Sam Neill was one of the ones. It's like, dude, we went back to 1920s, and there's some pretty prominent films in New Zealand before Sam Neill. But anyway, we're going to get on to how leaders respond to the deaths of high-profile people when we talk about Donald Trump shortly. But right now, let's just have a look at 3 News and have a look at how they reported. This was the lead story, obviously, on 3 and on 1. 1 News did a better job, I think, overall, because they came back 2/3 of the way through the show and had a bit of an interview out. But 3 News had a better initial story, I thought, about the very sad news New Zealand received today.
We begin tonight with some sad news. Kiwi screen legend Sir Sam Neill has died, aged 78. He's best known for his iconic role as Dr. Alan Grant in the Jurassic Park franchise. However, his other celebrated movies include The Hunt for Red October, The Piano, and of course, Hunt for the Wilder People. Sir Sam had just announced in April he was cancer-free after 5 years living with lymphoma. Joining us now is senior correspondent Lisette Raymond. Now, Lisette, his family has just released a statement. What have they had to say?
Yeah, Sam, as you say, a lot of shock for everyone hearing this news tonight. He is a screen legend, a screen hero. He has inspired a lot of people around the world with his work, but also done a whole lot for the industry here in New Zealand. We have got that statement from his family just released in the last 20 minutes or so. They wrote that it is with immense sadness that the whānau share the news of his passing today in Sydney, Australia. They wrote, Sam was surrounded by family and passed with the dignity that has characterised his whole life. The loss was sudden and unexpected, but blessed by the fact that Sam remained cancer-free. And they've gone on to express their deepest gratitude to the staff at St Vincent's Private Hospital for their incredible care, and of course to ask for privacy in the coming days. But you can imagine that there will be a lot of New Zealanders and fans all around the world who will definitely be wanting to send their love, their aroha to the family tonight and to honour him in the days and weeks to come.
Indeed, Lisette, and this has come as such a shock because he had come out so recently to say that he was cancer-free and he was doing really well.
Yeah, he said that he was doing great just recently, 2 years in remission, feeling really positive about the future. He actually said that he doesn't fear death, but he would be annoyed because he still has so much left to achieve. To be fair, Sam, he has packed in an awful lot in his career. It is glittering, an Emmy nomination, a Golden Globe nomination for his performances. Of course, most known for that tremendous performance in Jurassic Park, The Piano as well, but also that local Kiwi classic, which of course went gangbusters overseas, Hunt for the Wilder People. He is so beloved by so many. Just in 2025, he was honoured at the Screen Awards, New Zealand Screen Awards, as the Screen Legend, and he talked about that.
It's actually, no matter how much you think of this amazing career, it is actually hard to go past Wilder People as the best film he's ever done. I mean, that's a phenomenal, and it's a comedy. You know, often when you think about people's, most, the thing you'll be remembered for most of all, I mean, obviously the biggest one would have been Jurassic Park, but I don't know. There's something pretty special about that on-screen performance with Wilder People. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Wilder People is a strange one because it's certainly not one that when I think of Sam Neill, I necessarily gravitate towards mentioning it. But he absolutely nails that gruff New Zealander.
Yeah.
And I think it's also a really good example when you look at the other film roles that he's done. Like, I think that the way to measure an actor is how different are his roles. Like, there's definitely actors out there with sometimes some quite big careers where you're just like, it's another Vin Diesel, or Keanu Reeves is essentially Keanu Reeves in every movie. And there's still great films, don't get me wrong, but there's not a huge variation in there. But when you look at what Sam Neill has done and the characters that he's played, there's a huge range there.
Also interesting, I mean, just looking at this screenshot of Julie and Dennis in there, I guess, and what we're hearing like from Lucy and others about how generous he was. I've interacted with Sam Neill's company, and his PA numerous times to try and get him on podcast. I never did anything with him, but I have done stuff before with Rawiri Paratini, who's obviously an iconic, incredibly famous. He was on Shortland Street when I had some guest spots there. And I don't know Sam, and I never worked under Stan or with Stan, but having seen kind of these, for want of a better word, these matuas in the industry entertainment, I get a sense of what people are talking about when they talk about Sam's generosity from when I worked on Shortland Street with Rawiri, because he was different. It's different when you've got this seasoned, professional who basically knows more than even anyone else on the set, because they've been there and done that and directed that and acted for that person and yeah, it was really interesting watching a seasoned veteran kind of work with us young new actor type people. And as I said, not relating that to Sam, don't know Sam, but I get the sense of I've seen the kind of I can only think of the word matua, the main sort of dude, the experienced, seasoned veteran actor that comes with mana, working with younger actors. I've experienced that in some very brief way. So yeah, it's I just wonder what impact he had on Ricky Bobby.
Another excellent suggestion from the chat, a little film he did called Rams. I don't know if you've seen that one, Pat.
Oh, it doesn't ring a bell.
So I saw a little art house film ages ago, which was, I think it was from Greenland or something like that, but it was adapted into an Australian story about two feuding brothers with their prize women.
Oh, Ram. Ship. Yes, and their neighbours. Yes, I have seen that.
Yeah. So he was involved in the Australian adaptation of that, which is very, very good. And it's like, it's definitely an overlooked film. It didn't get a lot of buzz just being a local production, but it's very, very good.
When you look up Rams, you get the American football team coming up quite a lot. No, definitely. I've seen that one. Yeah. No, that was good. I enjoyed that. And I forget this guy's name, but he's out of The Office. Not The Office, sorry. I dug a hole, Dad, The Castle, and those sorts of things. He's one of those. This dude here, Michael Caton, is kind of maybe the Australian version of Sam Neill. Michael Caton to Australia is probably Sam Neill to New Zealand, because he seems to be one of those guys that's been around forever. So let's get to the end of the story. There's only 30 seconds to go or so. I'll just go back a smidge because I cut it off. Here we go.
And he talked about that 53-year long career that he'd had and how it did actually sound like quite a long time. But we were in that room, Sam, and we felt, and it was obvious that he was by far the most popular person in the room. He had a huge standing ovation. There was so much love and respect for everything he has achieved in that career. And there will be many, many people who know him well or have just watched him through the screens and feel they know him well, who will be honouring him and wanting to celebrate his tremendous life tonight.
It was interesting as well to watch the TVNZ story. I was going to see if they got the video up there because I can't remember the name of the reporter who reported on it, but he looked genuinely upset. I was expecting at some stage through the conversation for the One News reporter to say, "Oh, and you knew him personally," because I could be wrong, but you know how they say thank you for your time and the camera sticks on them for a bit longer and then it kind of fades to the next shot? Looked like he was genuinely upset. I'm not sure if there was a personal connection there or, this is a really silly example, but I can remember when Han, I don't know if this relates to you, Chewy. I remember when Han Solo died and going, and in that very moment in the cinema, remembering that my whole childhood, there was this character that was always there. And then his brother was in Indiana Jones. And, there was all these things. And then all of a sudden, watching on the big screen, you see this character die. And it was like, I got no connection, obviously. But I wonder if people are going through that a little bit today, that this person who was always there, who's in some of their favourite films, is now not.
Not everyone is going to get it. Some people have a real problem understanding why people mourn someone that's like has no direct connection to you. But like films are emotive sort of things. Like you see, I'm a big film guy. I've been watching movies since I was able to go to the movies, even beforehand. And Sam Neill has been there for the entirety of my movie watching life. So that, and knowing that he was a good dude as well, because I mean, there's a lot of people out there that are popular actors and have a following, and they're not good people. I think that's rare, and I think it's worthy of acknowledging. Like, there's, some people just aren't. There's no convincing some people.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's worth talking about.